Hello, Dorothy here with Done by Dorothy, and we are here for the first installment of our collaboration project between myself, Done by Dorothy, and Katie over at Bella Creativa Designs. Uh, all of the links for everything that you'll see in this video or will be in the description box below. I will put the link to Katie's Bella Creativa, uh, her Etsy store, as well as her YouTube channel, and also to my Etsy store, as well as my Etsy kits, her kits that we're going to be using, which I'll show you a little bit in just a little bit. I'll show you that, and any kits that I'm using, I will list below. So we're doing a collaboration. We're using my digitals from my Etsy store, and we're using basically a rose theme built around mothers. Releasing at Mother's Day, that sort of makes sense. For my kit, we're going to be using like the Ghostly Rose collection, which is really one of my probably favorite kits. I love the vintage vibe that you get from it. It sort of has that, I don't know, cloudy, rosy look to it. So it is a very beautiful kit, and a lot of ephemera. Trying to get some ephemera pieces so I could show you some postcards, washi strips, just a variety of different items. Oh, butterflies, some labels. So you have some journaling cards, some buttons. So a nice collection. So we'll be using the Ghostly Rose kit, as well as the Romancing Rosie. Let me find it here. What did I do with the Romancing Rosie? Oh, the Romancing Rosie marble kit, which comes in a variety of colors, pinks and yellows and greens and blues, and some cream. Let me try it where I'm not blocking the light there. That's better. So there's a variety of colors in those. So we'll be using that, as well as the roses and linen kit. Well, let me grab some of the bigger pieces so you can see. So there's the roses and linen kit. Let's see. And there's a green and white one that I use. Also, it's just sleeves. So yeah, a roses and linen kit, and I don't know if you can see the actual lines in it, just like the linen. So we will be using that. I am, in addition, going to be using, you can use coffee dyed paper if you don't have access to the digitals. This is just some doily tea stained paper from Tsunami Rose. And I have that. So I will put the link to this kit also in the description box below. Okay, so we'll be using my digitals. Then Katie at Bella Creativa, she actually works with SVG files, and she has created an SVG journal pack, which is absolutely awesome. It has pockets and tucks and all kinds of stuff. So we'll be working with that. Now, if you are not familiar with scalable vector graphics, working with SVGs, which go with like your cutting machines, your Brother Scan and Cut, your Cricut, Silhouette, and if you don't have one of those, you're going to go, oh, wow, I'm going to miss out on the whole project because I don't have access to a cutting machine. Not the case, because Katie did something awesome. She has her SVG journal pack available. But if you do not have a cutting machine, she has also made printable templates. And these templates are really awesome. You'll print the kit. She'll walk through how to do it exactly when you buy from her. And basically what you will do is print this out on your cardstock, like on white cardstock, cut around it and use it as a template. Or you can print this, and all the words on here I have wrote on there myself. So that's just my little cheat sheet things that I do so I can keep track of it. So if you don't want to cut around it, you can print this paper itself out on scrapbook paper or on one of the marble papers. print that right on top. Then you're just gonna, actually I would print it on the back is what I would probably do. And then you're gonna cut around it and you're gonna have it done. Now, I have chose to print on mine I've used an SVG, the SVGs, and I've cut my mats out of just regular paper because I'm going to be attaching them onto cardstock. If you're going to just use a cardstock and not mat it, then print your paper out, then print it on here on cardstock, cut it out, and then you'll have, say, your pocket without the matting. But I actually like the look that the matting gives, so that's why I'm going with that. So yeah, she has made these printable templates, and they come with very clear, concise directions. There's a little guide that tells you, what everything is. I was prepping this because I'm actually going to put mine in a book and adhere templates to the top of it that I have to trace in case I want, say, maybe a Rolodex card and I don't want to pull out my cutting machine. So, it sort of gives you an alternative either way. Then there are all of the SVGs that she has made, and they're awesome. Like, say that there's the ticket and then there's the mat for the ticket. So, I mean, she has just sort of made it easy for us. And there's pockets and tucks and inserts and, all of your basic belly bands, all of your basic items that you would use in a junk journal, tickets and all that. So we will come back to that in a little bit, or probably in our next video, because I'm just going to walk through everything today. I've pulled some charms and beads out. These are sort of red. This is just a start. I love the leaves. I think those go great. I even like these beads, maybe not the dark ones so much. I'm just sort of playing around. This is the fabric that I am using for my cover. So as you can see, it does sort of have those colors, although I'm going to pull some pink in and maybe get rid of the dark. So I know these I'm keeping in because they match really well. And these match almost identical to the red in there. So I know those are in. These do match some of the darkness, but I think I want to go more towards the pink end and away from the red. So we'll see. So those are ones I've just pulled out as I was sorting through things, but I still have my other charm box to go through. So there are those. So you want to make sure you get some beads or charms, that type of thing ready. I am using this for the cover of my journal, and I found it in my stash. It is just a vintage dinner napkin, like a cloth napkin for your table. So that's what I'm going to be using for my cover because it has the roses on it and I just love the design. So that's what we'll be using. Then I've pulled all of my stuff for my signatures. Now, they're basically the same. There's a little bit of difference that varies between them, but it's the base, pretty much basically the same with a little variety. So I have pulled some tags and envelopes. These I made a Wednesday night wingding, I think 2 weeks ago. A week ago Wednesday, so it would have been the maybe 28th, 29th of April, something like that. 27th maybe. So I'm using those, and I have those in different colors. I have a coffee filter, a vintage napkin. Okay, I also have some printables that I got from Tsunami Rose in her ephemera kits, and this is called Vintage Hankies. And then I've printed some floral in the background with some of the coffee dyed paper on there just to give something on the back so it wasn't so bright white. Then, of course, I have my digital pages, which I've ran the coffee dyed on the back. Or I could have printed just, straight printed on coffee paper if I wanted to. So I have some of those. A Latin language and literature page from a vintage school book. This is a reader. So it's a vintage page from a reader from the early 1900s. Cut out from a David Austin Rose catalog. Some vintage ledger paper, and this one just happens to be one I folded up and made some pockets in. Vintage recipe pages with some ads to a store and a grocery, Fred's Cash Grocery. And then I have my actual coffee dyed pages, and I've included 6 pages because I have all the book pages, as well as the 2 pages that I've printed off. So it's just a variety of pages that's in there. So like that is the first one. Let me set it to the side. Let me bind it here real fast, clip it together, because if not, it'll end up everywhere. And I hope you guys enjoy the collaboration between the two. Sort of exciting, something different. A collaboration between an SVG designer and a digital designer. So again, there's that envelope, and isn't that pretty envelope? It's that shimmer on it. And tag we did in the wingding. Vintage doily. I am keeping this one white. A piece of ledger. Some dry deli paper. It's dry waxed deli paper. Again, that rose page. Again, the vintage doily. My ghostly rose pages. And again, those book pages, just like I included in the other. So it just varies just a tad bit. Not a lot, just a bit. And then the last one's more of a blue, the blue rose tag, and with a pink envelope. It has one of the square coffee filters. And one of the hankies. Oops. And this is my center, so I do not have a hanky or anything like that because I did not want to like overfill. Because I mean, we still have a lot of stuff to do. We have all the ephemera to put in it and everything. So, and some vintage music sheets. Again, that page out of the 3rd year reader. And modern language out of the academic department, mathematics and astronomy. So just a variety. And again, a vintage recipe page because I just love putting vintage recipes and things. So that's basically what I'm going to be using, as well as all of the ephemera pieces to add out of Katie's kit that we walked through in the introduction. So that is basically what I'm going to be using, and that's what I wanted to cover in this video. There will be a launch of the next video that'll give you guys time to pull and prep whatever you want to use if you're following along with this. So that is an example of what we're going to be using. So I'm really excited, and we will be back with the next installment in the series where we start putting our pages together and designing our journal in the collab between Bell Creativa Designs and Done by Dorothy. Thanks for tuning in today. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you in the next installment. Bye now.